Konnichiwa, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Japanese Faves series where we'll cover every major type of Japanese food. I have several tempura lessons in both my Learning to Cook Like a Pro course and my Japanese Faves series. This lesson is shrimp tempura crispy bits style. A friend recently asked about tempura he had in Japan with crispy bits of fried batter hanging off the sides. There are different methods to get this result. I'll do one today. The tempura batter for this lesson was inspired by Chef Masayuki Hattori of the unique restaurant within a restaurant in Santa Fe, New Mexico called the Sioux Room or the Nest, which is in a hidden area of the El Nido restaurant. I highly recommend it. The challenge of tempura batter is to make light and airy batter and cooked tempura that is light and golden but not greasy. Most recipes for tempura batter call for egg. Using egg, I have never come close to the airiness of the tempura I've had in Japan or in fine Japanese restaurants in the US. I have another lesson where I don't use egg, where I got the best tempura results to date, so I don't use egg here either. But what makes this lesson unique is the crispy bits technique and the batter ingredients. So let's start cooking. All right, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat our oil. You should have at least 48 ounces of oil. I have closer to a gallon here, and I have it in a big pan. The more oil you have, the easier it is to control the temperature. But you should have it in a pot, preferably a heavy bottom pot, where the oil is at least 2 inches below the rim, okay? Because hot oil is dangerous. You want to be very careful with it. And if it's right up to the rim, it can slosh out and not only be messy, but it can burn you. So you want to keep it in a pot that's a little farther down below the rim like this. Heat it up to 350 degrees, and as your heat starts to approach that temperature, you want to reduce the heat on your stove a little bit, so you kind of ease into that temperature. You don't want to shoot past 350. You want to get to 350 and hold it there, okay? So as you're getting closer to it, reduce your heat and just kind of adjust it up and down until you get it at 350 and you can hold it at that point. Okay, now we're going to prepare our shrimp, and how we're going to do that is we're going to cut them on the underside so that they hopefully will not curl. What do shrimp do when you cook them? They curl. So what we're going to do is we're going to put slices into the bottom of the shrimp about half of the way through, okay, and they're kind of at an angle, if you can see this, right? And then what we're going to do is press them out, okay? Press it out and kind of stretch it out a little bit, okay? And we're going to do that with each one of these. Okay, so they've all been cut on the bottoms and then kind of pressed down to press them flat and stretched out a little bit so they're nice and flat, elongated. All right, now we're going to mix our batter, and we're starting off with the rice flour in the bowl. We're going to add to that the corn starch and the corn meal, all right? And then we want to mix that up really well. Okay, now we're going to dredge all of these shrimp in some all-purpose flour, right? And you know, you can put them all in there at the same time. You can do them one at a time if you want to. Just want to get them all dredged in the flour. Okay, now after your oil gets up to temperature, you want to finish mixing your batter, okay? You don't want to mix it sooner. And we're going to put in a cup and, well, whatever the description calls for. I think it was 1.25 cups of ice water, okay? And then we're going to mix it with chopsticks. Why are we going to do that? Because we don't want to mix it really well. We want to have some lumps in there. The lumps will help to give you air bubbles, which will help to keep your batter more airy, okay? So you just want to mix it up with chopsticks, because why? Well, because it's not easy to mix it with chopsticks. We want it to be kind of loosely mixed, all right? All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to shake off the extra flour and drop the shrimp into the batter, okay? And I'm going to do 4 at a time here, okay? And what we want to do is get them coated. Okay, now we're going to do one of these shrimp to show you as an example. You might see some little bits of fried dough in the oil. I used the oil for another purpose before this part of the video. Okay, so what we want to do is dip the shrimp into the batter, shake off the extra batter, and then lay it into the oil like that, okay? Then, after you let it cook for, you know, a few seconds, like maybe, about 20 seconds or so, by the way, if you have more than one in here at a time, don't let them stick together, and you might want to do them in batches too, so that they don't reduce the temperature of the oil too much. Okay, then what you want to do is take hold of the shrimp with your chopsticks, your cooking chopsticks, right? And then sprinkle some batter onto the shrimp right down at the line of the oil, okay? That's going to make some crispy bits on the side of the shrimp. This, by the way, this part of it can be kind of messy, but it's just the way it is. And let it go for about a minute. Okay, it's been about a minute. Let's see how it looks. It's looking nice and firm, crisp. It's got some little bits hanging off the side, so we're going to take that out, and we're going to let it drain on some crumpled brown paper, as we always do with fried food. Okay? All right, now let's try to clear out some of that, that cooked batter before we do the next batch. Okay, we're going to plate these up. We're only going to plate up 2 per, because I'm doing it as a small plate. You want to do it in an artistic way. Sprinkle them with a little bit of sea salt, and then serve it with the Tentsuya, or the tempura dipping sauce. So there you have it. That is tempura, shrimp tempura, wispy crispy style. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.